is it this time, Torgal? Something tells me this is no mere adventure story. Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed. The realm's armies and her lord. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive. Don't worry, my boy. Rutherford is in Randalar this very moment, singing your praises to all and sundry. They'll adore you.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother.
You're wrong.
Of course.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
His will?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remain. And in the process of doing so, they found...
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. Back to Tabor then. Not to be reunited with Yote this time.
The hour fast approaches. My decision is made. You've said it yourself. He must be stopped.
He must.
I await your word.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a...
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point, and it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at...
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now, and while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Walud, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to...
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but when we stay no longer than we have to, Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name, Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier. Thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive.
As do I, Dor.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but...
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting? We're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fit.
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then?
One can never have too many...
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending it and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer. Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy.
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked.
Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but... But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated. What will it be today? Harpocrates knows of the tome I seek. Whether what he has to say makes you happy to have agreed to help me is another matter. Godspeed.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That'd mean the crystal is...
Massive. Aye.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That'd mean the crystal is...
Massive. Aye.
this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me.
What do you think happened?
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes. But that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stoneir.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's inventions. Oh, don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together? She seems really sad.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning. Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby, but if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the Cursebreakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Mididol mentioned a new project yet?
Miss Shirley says your books made quite an impression on her.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally... My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. And...
No. The lands across I will not send good men and women to risk their lives. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. I was raised in an orphanage. Or rather, it was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn back. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone, and few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. But they must be remembered. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
You are a good friend, but the fact remains that Ash is simply
Sid, please.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphan.
Vida Grace. Hidden in a forest.
All right.
May the mothers guide you.
Do you suppose it's magic keeping the thing afloat?
What else could it be?
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf. Torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone? You find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen herself.
right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Ah, Clive, my boy.
Harpocrates. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
And you seek a rare gem indeed, one whose name I had not thought to hear.
Right as always, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much.
And yet I gather it did naught. Clive, if the young professor, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would...
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts, one such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known, or so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why? Secrecy is the they lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long
by the hand of the executor.
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known, you may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
My hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from...
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are rife, but rather less so across... I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick. A collector of... Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. But, though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that to survive, if you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know...
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your...
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em up if it's durability you're looking for. Shell will serve you better.
I do. And I know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Carava, near Old Bidza, but don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough.
Caution, brother.
Someone's brave. It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember, and you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure. We won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready. Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Welcome, welcome. You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. I'll be here if you need me.
Oh, no. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav.
You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions.
So, what?
You haven't even... Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You will need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
Even now, the capital has moved. The Empire keeps the watchtowers overlooking royal meadows and the Sea of Grace manned. But only by a skeleton crew.
Enough of you, are there? These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Fool!
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is, then.
A fortress? And who'll pay for that?
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to... He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. He was nowhere to be seen. I assumed...
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it...
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets if we don't cooperate.
Then we'll just post our own.
I would speak with this Duke about...
Saw the captain just now. Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizen's watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier. If only for a few nights.
Of course. What?
Thank you, Clive. Philippe told me he had...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of...
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme. who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his wreck. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by... He must be made to face the consequences.
And who would make him?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle...
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see, my father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but... He's scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him, but he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk We must fight him.
Fight him? No. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our... While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet...
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for... Which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry. Where were... Ah, yes. I was about... But perhaps it's better that you heard them from him.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
Your town needs you.
What does the dame have to say about...
So you are content to abandon the... Please! If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to...
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land...
Even when our true enemy is high... Fine. You're not... Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale, hoping to convince the Dane to join her in fermenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her late... Anyway,
what... Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, right, as always. We've had some reports, you see.
They're back.
Seems that way. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're
Right.
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings...
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town. Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems a report. I dispatched the few that I found.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came... We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other.
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to... You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks up.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the stirring up ill feeling towards her father. But she'll have her marching on the...
What? I'll do what I can to... Be careful out there.
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm...
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please. Let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head. With your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griega.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together. For Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
Whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken back. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I've fought a few of these things. And well, I can't promise to hold them all back.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
are so many of them.
Not for long.
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun.
Let there be light!
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks.
But glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right, and I was wrong. I had thought that the only way to unite that without a strong hand to guide, they would drift apart. To be but you, not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory.
You have the right of it again, as did you. Sabine, his radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught. I forgot that.
I'm sorry too. I should never have taken things. I only wanted you to understand how I felt.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. I should have listened to you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship. But I believe the same could be said of us. We all want safety, security, prosperity. And we may yet achieve it. Will you join us in this?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. And today there are more than ever.
Madam Isabel is a rare soul in these dark... I see that it is not men like me who should...
You're right.
Forgive me for saying so, milady. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around, and that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain.
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving.
Can we get you anything?
One of the dames, aren't you? I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite a...
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've...
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? But I sense you would rather have died here. For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man I have ever... After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless, until we found ourselves here. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, clothed those that could be healed at least.
He passed away.
He did. Not long, but at least we were able to share a few moments of peace. It was the greatest gift I have ever... But the generosity of this town and her people, the men and women of the Vale supported me, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would return the kindness, that I would repay my...
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive, and I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. The people, the soldiers, all united in defense of this town. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.